Before we begin, let me make something clear. Vlad Circus' Curse of Asmodeus is both a prequel and a sequel to Vlad Circus' Descent into Madness. I'll try to avoid going too deep into the first game, but some details will inevitably come up and will also be shown in the video. So, if you haven't played the first episode yet, my advice is stop watching now. Josef was one of the most mysterious yet important figures in the first game. We heard about him several times, but all we really knew was that he had died in the electric chair, held responsible for the Vlad Circus tragedy, and it's exactly with his supposed death that Curse of Asmodeus begins. Supposed because somehow Josef survived the execution. He wakes up in an underground chamber, weak, disfigured, and with no memory. Wandering through the cold, dark rooms, he eventually stumbles upon a mirror, and by staring at his own reflection, fragments of his past start coming back, the memories of what led him to his tragic fate. Just like the first game, Curse of Asmodeus delivers a dark, horror-tinged story, populated by ambiguous characters where nothing is purely black or white, everything lives in shades of grey. We'll once again meet the cast from the original game, but this time we'll experience events from a completely different perspective, through Josef himself, a character who's certainly not very likable, but layered and full of contradictions. It's a compelling narrative that ties back to the first game without any major issues. Though, to be honest, it's been a while since I played it, so I don't remember every single detail perfectly. Curse of Asmodeus is a third-person adventure where you directly control the character, and honestly, it works best if you play with a controller. Guiding Josef along his journey, you'll talk to different characters, solve light puzzles that are never too complicated. Sometimes it's about finding and using items, other times they're environmental challenges. And on top of that, there are even some stealth and action moments, though at its core, this is still very much an adventure game. Now, the puzzles themselves aren't particularly brilliant, but they do just enough to keep things interesting so you won't get bored. Like I mentioned earlier, the game unfolds across two parallel timelines. The first one is the present, where a suffering Josef has to uncover the mystery of the strange place where he woke up. The second one takes us into the past, unlocked each time Josef finds a mirror. Every mirror lets you relive a fragment of the days leading up to the Vlad Circus tragedy. It is possible to die in the game, but thanks to the automatic save system, it never becomes frustrating. The whole adventure isn't very long, somewhere between 3 to 5 hours, but it's tightly paced. The pixel art graphics are pretty much the same as in the first game, which means we're starting from solid foundations. But while the original was almost always shrouded in shadows and darkness, Curse of Asmodeus gives us the chance to explore areas in broad daylight too. And that really lets you appreciate the talent of the artists, because even with just a handful of pixels, they manage to give the characters a lot of personality. The game doesn't have any kind of voice acting, it's all text-based, but honestly it works just fine. The music is actually pretty good, always fitting the mood of the moment, and the ambient sound effects do a great job of pulling you into the atmosphere. Vlad Circus, Curse of Asmodeus is a worthy follow-up to Descent into Madness. If you enjoyed the first game, you'll have no trouble getting into this new story. That said, the same issue remains. The overall design can feel a bit bland at times, leaving most of the heavy lifting to the narrative itself. Luckily, the story is strong enough to keep you hooked until the very end,